On the 25th day of August 2024, the Labour Party presidential candidate for the 2023 presidential election that took place in Nigeria was interviewed on Norel TV somewhere in the US. And yes, he said a whole lot. He talked about the society, the Nigerian economy. He talked about everything. In fact, the jets, they recently got jets, a lot. In fact, he touched on every single issue concerning the current government at the moment. Well, like I always tell you guys, we do not write this clip here. This clip, it belongs to Norel TV, so this is just for fair use purpose only. Listen, please don't forget to drop a comment below.
Nigerian jets were seized overseas in France based on a situation with a Chinese company. Now, the state this is something that happened within the state government side, and is now affecting the presidential jets being seized. What is your position on that situation, and how is impacting the visual optics for Nigeria as a whole, as a country? And do you think it's fair that the state government did something and the federal government is now having to pay the price for it?
Well, for me, the first thing to say that what we are going through now is very, very shameful and very negative in terms of the perception of our country. And something needs to be done, because the people are not going to pay it. Where is the benefit? This is time to do the audit and know what we are going through, so that especially as we don't have not just presidential jet. Somebody was telling me about
a property in Liverpool.
Property in London,
in Liverpool,
being
seized
and put
for
auction. Somebody is telling me about another jet belonging to Nigeria in Canada and everything. This is time to deal with it, because sooner or later they probably will start seizing Nigerians. If you issue your passport, you are arrested for being a debtor. So before it gets to the place where we can no longer move around as Nigerians without being arrested, let's know exactly what it is all about. Similarly, that we need to audit now front sales of our oil, because the law says it must be used for critical, strategic, national issues. What did we use all these resources for?
And also continue on that question again. There are other questions about people in your party that are unhappy. Case in point, Kenneth Okonkwo, who used to be or was a spokesperson of the Labour Party, that feels that you are not acting to resolve a lot of these issues, so he has left. What is your position on trying to keep people like that within the party, or what's your position on Kenneth Okonkwo's position?
I've told you, I think I've said it. I can't act rascally. I've never been known to be somebody who operates like every other person did. So if you want to change something, a leader must be an exemplary person by his behavior and conduct, even when it does not favor him. What is happening in Labour Party today is not what I wish. Even if I'm going to lose from it, it will not make me to act rascally. I must act and work within the law. And I can go and check all my involvement just since I started this politics, or even in business. You will never see me involved in area where people will say he acted rascally. People can speculate, people can even fake it there, but never. They're fighting to know that all those bad things are not out there. The same thing they're fighting for fake news. Fake news all over the place. While I was reading a lot of them where they would write this about Biden, this about Kamala Harris, everybody, so the struggle is all over the place.
A point to end on is maybe for with a message for your followers who are fondly known as the Obedience. Those who have been following you from day one, still here, very active on social media. What message would you tell them as they've seen you through the election? They're watching you at the DNC. They're watching now. What message do you have for your followers who've been supporting you?
Well, I've always said it, to remain, that will remain as the family. I know at this time, there's so much temptation, there's so much effort to see that. This is Mr. Peter Obi, and you're watching Now TV.
My name is His Royal Highness Charles Achebe. His Excellency, thanks for joining us this morning. My question is, as Nigerians, we know some of our problems. When you have large cost of governance, people in the Senate, people in the House of Rep, making millions of naira, even having newspapers allowance that nobody reads newspapers anymore nowadays, everything's online. I strongly believe that if Nigerian current government cannot control the expenditure, what they dish out to all the people representing us, we will continue to have difficulties in managing the affairs of the country. What do you think, as a former governor or as a presidential aspirant, what should be the minimum salary for those people representing us in the?
To also continue on that question again, there are other questions about people in your party that are unhappy. Case in point, Kenneth Okonkwo, who used to be, was a spokesperson of the Labour Party, that feels that you are not acting to resolve a lot of these issues, so he has left. What is your position on trying to keep people like that within the party, or what's your position on Kenneth Okonkwo's position?
I've told you, I think I said it, I can't act rascally. I've never been known to be somebody who operates rascally. I operate within the rules, within the guidelines and everything. And that's what we want to enthrone. It's easy for anybody to say anything. Like I said, all those who left are my brothers. They are my people.
Well, here in the U.S., we talk a lot about fake news. It's not a U.S. problem. It's a worldwide phenomenon. What is your plan, or what do you think we can do to address misinformation? And what strategies would you implement to sort of make sure that people have a reliable source for true and accurate information?
Well, quite frankly, there's no way you can say it won't be fake news. It's like saying there will never be fake products. Governments globally, even here in the US, are fighting to ensure that fake products are not in the market.